And this evening, we'll be planting or transplanting the Desert King watermelon variety. This variety has a yellow flesh. Supposed to be a real special variety as far as flavor is concerned. Supposed to have a great shelf life also. Supposed to be a top class variety. I'm hoping to get at least 2 melons per vine. Since that's what some YouTubers were having, other YouTubers who I've seen grow this variety. You can see I'm basically pulling up the native grass, and this is basically just soil, a ground soil or topsoil beneath this container here. This is a 1 gallon container that has no bottom. I'm just gonna plant this how I normally plant my grow bags. So just gonna fill this in with dirt, with, a little bit under 1 gallon of dirt. Don't want to fill the container to the rim, but right below the rim. And I'm gonna put 1 watermelon transplant into each of these little containers. Have another one right here. And just gonna start filling them in. First, I need some water. Need some water to basically. You gotta, depending on when you watered your seedlings, if you hadn't added water to it before bringing it outdoors, it's a good idea to saturate that napkin first. And if you're transplanting from napkins, of course, it's a good idea to saturate that napkin first, and that allows those roots to come right off. So I'm just letting that water mix in there, and it should be ready now. So all I'm gonna do is tear this open on both of the sides. Now normally when I start my season and on napkins, I always leave the Ziploc unlocked. I never lock the Ziploc. All right, so it does dry out somewhat as the days go by. Excess water out, and I'll start off on this left side here. I have 2 containers on this side. I'll start off with the smallest seedling. I like using the smallest seedlings on the in the containers that are closest to the ground, because the root systems will have time to develop and get through that soil. So here's one hidden behind these weeds. And this little planting area here is the outside of this garden bed here, which I'm going to work on filling in gradually. But this is where the turmeric is, and the container's on the outskirts of the garden bed. So we have one in. Let's grab another seedling. Desert King definitely seems to have an excellent, the seedlings seems to have an excellent tolerance compared to other seedlings, like how the Yeni Donya was showing some mold. The seedlings were. This variety seems to be much slower in deteriorating compared to other varieties. Other varieties may start dampening off a little bit quicker than Desert King would. So these are definitely some beautiful seedlings here. I'm expecting a good harvest of Desert King. I'm gonna run the vines in this bed, and I'm gonna run them along this little area here that's have weed fabric on the ground and whatnot. Probably hard to tell right now because of all the stuff that's covering the weed fabric, but it's definitely there. Nice healthy root systems on these seedlings. I'm being very careful not to tear any roots. I want to bring out as many roots as possible. I'll plant this one a little bit deeper. And you can see the seedling is standing up. That means that it has some moisture in it, at least for the time being. So when they start drooping, it means you aren't watering your seedlings enough on those napkins. You don't want to water them too much because then you cause dampening off issues. You have to keep them slightly dry. You have to keep them balanced between dry and moist. Let's say that. All right. Desert King is known to be drought tolerant, which is what gave it its name, or which is how it got its name. Desert King. This variety is this variety should be king of the desert. Basically, it's known to be able to be grown in the Arkansas desert. So sand mediums are excellent for this variety. If you want to do dry farming is basically farming with minimal water. This will be a excellent variety for that. So whether you're in the desert and you have no choice but to dry farm, or if you're in a neighborhood or something and you want to save on water, or if you're just in an area where you don't get much water but you're not in a desert, this is an excellent variety for dry farming where you don't have to water much but those seedlings will thrive. So I have one more container right here, and then I'm going to start planting the rest of these seedlings in a grow bag. I don't have too many seedlings left, thank goodness. I planted out the whole packet of Desert King seeds, and it honestly looks like 100% germination if you ask me. So this variety has excellent germination, if you are wondering. Alright, let's get the rest of these seedlings into grow bags. This is what we have left. And I do know that they will perform well on these containers right here because I've planted different things and I've experimented with it, and different things grow. So in those 1 gallon containers that are on the outskirts of the bed, they definitely grow. Let's see what I want to do now. So these are some I believe this is sugarloaf pineapple pups that I need to transplant into some grow bags real soon. Here's the persimmon seedlings. I think only about 2 of them survived. 2 is better than 0, so I'm just hoping at least one of those persimmon plants are a female persimmon so I can get some fruits from it. Alright, so now I'll work on separating all of these seedlings here. Let's get some of these weeds out of here, of course. Work on separating these seedlings and we'll get these planted right in. Nice little root mass. A couple of seeds that just started germinating. I'll figure out what to do with those. The ones that just started germinating, I like to put those in more shallower planting mediums. The ones with the long stems like this and that have been germinated for a while now, I like to plant those out and just keep water on them. Those seem to be easier to take care of than the new sprouts. But I tell you what, just bringing a napkin out with all those germinated sprouts, that's really a time saver, or a space saver is what I meant to say. It's really a space saver. I don't have to carry, like when I go to my farm, I can just take the sprouted napkin with me. I can take all the whole napkin with me instead of just having to load my vehicle up with hundreds of containers, which takes multiple trips. I've done that before and I'm not fond of it. So I'm not really too concerned with the spacing in these grow bags. As far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna have some full-size melons, and if I have some undersized melons from planting just a couple plants too close, I'm not concerned with that in the least bit. Get some of those weeds out of there. The plants will drown those out as they produce and start taking off. There's a few more seedlings left. Honestly, the rest of these weeds, I probably don't need to pull them up. I have them, I'm basically companion planting these Desert Kings with green turmeric. So essentially, I'm hoping that this green turmeric eventually takes over this garden bed, but before it does that, I'm gonna try to get some watermelons out of this bag. And not this garden bed, but this grow bag. I want the turmerics to take over these grow bags, so I won't have to worry about weeds and all of that. I'm working on the back of the bag. Nuisances out of there. Yep, that's right, I called you a nuisance, you little weeds. Ain't that bad. Those watermelon vines and turmeric are gonna drown that out, so no problem. Just want to reduce the volume a little bit. The volume of the weeds. So I believe so many little gnats out here and little mosquitoes. So I believe this is it for this bag. I'm gonna plant the rest with the white turmeric. And all I will have left is crimson sweet, which I'm trying to figure out where I want to plant that at. I have crimson sweet, and I also have, I believe I have one other variety along with crimson sweet that are still inside. Okay, so one right here, one right here. Soil is definitely a little bit dry. One right there. Okay, looking excellent. So now I'm gonna step into the garden bed. See what we can do here. This bag is looking much better than the previous one. Just get the little 3 weeds out of here that are in here. All right, finish that. Now, basically what I want to do is sit this down here. I'm gonna start planting in this little area right here. Let's get these separated. Desert King, will you really rule the desert? I'm gonna plant this whole napkin. I'm not too concerned with separating that out. Now this soil is definitely moist. So I know that some of the grow bags have retain water better than others. I'm not exactly sure why, because I've been using the same planting mixture in all of them. Must be how the sunlight is hitting them or something. This one right here. 3, 4. I definitely know that these Desert Kings right here will thrive because their soil is so dark and moist. Just gonna pop a bunch of seeds into here and then hope for the best. Have some new sprouts that still haven't put out any roots or anything, so I'm gonna just put those right beneath the soil. Hope they do sprout. At a later time. All right. Have you grown Desert King before? If so, what do you like about this variety? And what do you think can be improved in this variety? What do you think isn't so favorable about this variety? If there's anything that isn't favorable about it, let me know below. I always look forward to learning new things about different varieties, and I always look forward to putting out that information also and sharing it with other gardeners. I feel like it helps us all move forward in life, if you get what I mean. It helps us all be able to not have to spend so much time on things that we shouldn't have wasted much time on, you know, or things that we may not have caught with our own eyes. People may catch it with theirs, and they can share that with us, save us that hassle and wasted energy. So now all there is one seedling left right here. I'll pop that in back here. I'll dump this out. Seed casings. Hopefully there's some unsprouted seeds there, and they will sprout. That just means more watermelons, of course. I always welcome more watermelons. That's Desert King. All we have left is to what now? Drum roll, water. All we have left to now is water. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Have a bunch of water in this 27-gallon tote back here. If I can get behind these dwarf Cavendish bananas. There's some water back here. Let's try to get some water without falling in the water, right? There we go. Now we loading up. You see those Manpukuji carrot tops taking a swim? I tell you what, since I started putting these totes in my... almost fell. Since I started putting these totes in my garden, it's been attracting a lot of frogs. They've been laying eggs, because I've been seeing little tadpoles swimming about.